What's up, guys? Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. Wanted to do a different style video with you guys today. Just wanted to sit down, chop it up, and talk about the Mavs. And a topic that I've seen on social media lately about the Mavs and the Celtics, is this a new rivalry? Is this going to be the new Cavs-Warriors going forward? I wanted to get into that, but before we do, if you guys would please like the video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 30,000 subs here on the channel, and that would be a great milestone for myself and Harrison to both reach. So if you guys could do that, that would be great. And let's hop right in. There's multiple factors why I think that this rivalry could be something that is a mainstay in the NBA for the foreseeable future. And we have to start, of course, with the Kyrie Irving factor. The Boston Celtics fans absolutely despise Kyrie Irving. I think they hate him more than any other player. He's up there with Magic Johnson in levels of hate in Boston Celtics history. Obviously, the way Kyrie was traded there, on opening night, he said, if you guys will have me, I'd love to re-sign. And then, of course, he leaves Boston, goes and signs in Brooklyn. The whole marriage between Kyrie and the Boston Celtics fans and organization was very strange. And we saw in the NBA Finals that they have no love lost whatsoever, and I really do believe that it impacted Kyrie's performance in the finals. I don't think Kyrie was fantastic in the playoffs by any means, but the finals was by far his worst series, and he'll say it didn't impact him, and he'll say it didn't motivate him any extra and whatnot, and I have a hard time believing that. I really think the fans at the TD Garden in Boston impacted how Kyrie played. They absolutely despise him, and on the other end, I think there's some, I don't know if bad blood is the right word, but with Kristaps Porzingis, Mavs fans kind of feel some type of way about how that thing went with Porzingis. Obviously, they traded for him from the New York Knicks in January of 2019 during Luka's rookie season. He sat out the rest of that year, came back in the 1920 season. Look, when KP played, he was fantastic. The problem is he didn't play enough in Dallas. He ends up getting traded to Washington for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Dinwiddie was a big reason why the Mavs got to the conference finals in 22-23, but personally, I don't feel any resentment towards Porzingis and how it went. Do I wish he could have been on the court more often? I do. Do I wish that Rick Carlisle and him would have gotten along more in that first-round series against the Clippers where KP was more or less used as just a decoy? Absolutely, but at the end of the day, basketball is a business. It didn't work out in Dallas, and I'm happy for KP that it worked out in Boston and he's an NBA champ. He went through another surgery and is going to miss the first part of the season. I saw a report the other day that the Celtics aren't expecting KP back until about December, so it's just what you're going to have to live with, man. When he's a 7'3" guy, you're going to have all sorts of lower body injuries, whether it's your leg, your ankle, your foot. I believe this one's an ankle, so that's not something that you really want to deal with, man. But look, I think Mavs fans still kind of resent how the whole thing with KP ended. I don't personally. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you guys still resent Kristaps Porzingis for his tenure in Dallas? That'll be the pinned comment on today's show. So when you get hit with the YouTube ad break, go on down there and let me know what you guys think about Kristaps Porzingis. I think another factor in this rivalry is the fan bases on Twitter like to go at each other's throats. I know myself and Tyler Smith, he's the Celtics guy here at Chat Sports. We go at each other all the time, whether it's on Twitter or in person, about the rivalry and about the fan bases and about the teams and whatnot. And these are two of the loudest fan bases on the internet right now. The Mavs and Celtics fans do not like each other. Celtics fans like to poke fun at Luka for being out of shape. Mavs fans like to poke fun at the Celtics for Jayson Tatum being a role player on Team USA and Jaylen Brown not even making it. Some saying Jaylen Brown is the better player. I've been part of those discussions as well, of course. By the way, if you want to go give me a follow on Twitter, at Jeff_Coop27, I'm always talking about the Mavs and whatnot. But yeah, man, these fan bases do not like each other, and I think they don't like each other even more than the players. I think there's a healthy amount of respect between the Mavs and the Celtics players, especially when it comes to Kyrie Irving. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, they both love Kyrie and have a bunch of respect for him. Luka and Tatum went on the Jordan Tour in China together earlier this offseason, so they have some sort of relationship as well. And it seems like these guys get along for the most part, but the fan bases certainly do not get along. Speaking of Jayson Tatum, I thought this jab was pretty interesting, and he said this earlier in the offseason that he said right when Denver lost to Minnesota in the second round of the playoffs, he knew that the Celtics were going to win the title. He said, I felt like Denver was the only team that matched up best with us. It turned out to be the case because they took care of the Mavericks in 5 games. I do think that if the Mavs were a little more healthy, if Luka Doncic was fully healthier, we know he was dealing with the knee injury, he was dealing with the chest contusion, he was dealing with the ankle. If he was healthier, do the Mavs push it to 6, maybe even 7 games? I think that's a possibility, but who's to say? It ended in 5, and the Mavs just looked like the overmatched team there from the get-go. If Kyrie plays better, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts about how that series could have gone. But the fact of the matter is, the Mavericks just didn't do their job, and the Boston Celtics were NBA champions for a reason. So there was that as well. Another contributing factor to why I think this is one of the NBA's biggest budding rivalries is Jayson Tatum went on the Jimmy Fallon show and said that this was going to be a 2025 NBA Finals rematch. He paused for a couple seconds after Fallon asked him who he thinks is going to be in the finals, and Tatum said it is going to be a rematch. And I also am going to predict a rematch here. We're a month out from the season right now, and from my eyes, these are the 2 best teams in the NBA. I think the Mavs are the best team in the Western Conference. They improved dramatically this offseason, getting Klay Thompson, getting Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Spencer Dinwiddie. I think it was a fantastic offseason for Mavs GM Nico Harrison, and the Celtics are running it back. They basically brought back their entire roster. They gave out extensions to Sam Hauser and a couple of other guys as well, and so these teams, I think the Celtics stayed the same, which should be good enough to win the title if we're looking at it from that perspective because they were that good last year, and the Mavs improved to where they may have closed the gap with the Celtics. So if I had to pick right now, I think it would be a Celtics and Mavericks rematch in the finals, which leads me to this question. Is this the new Cavs and Warriors? Now, I know you guys are thinking, whoa, that's crazy. They played 4 times in a row. I think if these teams end up playing 2 to 3 times in a row, I would say 3. If the Mavs and Celtics play 2 more times in the finals, maybe the Mavs win one of them. This is one of the greatest finals rivalries in NBA history if that happens, and I do believe that this has the potential to be that. You have the superstar power in Luka and Tatum and Brown and Kyrie. You have the history with the Celtics. The Mavs are a little more of a new blood franchise, and they don't like each other, especially on the fan base side as well. I really think that these teams don't like each other on and off the court, and is it going to be the new LeBron and Steph Curry rivalry where Luka and Tatum just strongly dislike each other, and then at the end of their careers, they come to really appreciate each other? Could be the case, but look, I think this is one of the best rivalries budding in the NBA, man. You have it all. You have the coaching. You have the players. You have the fan base. You have the star power. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Could this rivalry be the new Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors rivalry where they faced each other 4 times in 4 straight finals? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. And then when do they match up this year? It's in a pretty quick span, which is very strange. In Dallas, the first game of the 2-game matchup in the regular season, it's going to be on January 25th. And in Boston, I believe that's a Saturday, by the way. It's going to be an ESPN matchup. And in Boston, it's a couple of weeks later on February 6th. So these guys play each other 2 times in a pretty quick span, which can also lead to some more bad blood, especially when you see teams in quick succession. Like, I know that happens when there's like a little back-to-back. I know the NBA implemented this where you have back-to-backs now where you're going to play the Pelicans on a Wednesday and a Friday, or the Mavs will play the Clippers on a Friday and a Sunday, or whatever like that. This isn't quite that, but this is in pretty quick succession here, and that could add for some more fireworks, so to speak. Look, these teams don't like each other. They are at the top of the NBA, and they're fighting for that 2025 Larry O'Brien trophy to see who's going to go win the NBA Finals. Mavs and Celtics, could it be that rematch? I think it's going to be here. And the question for Mavs fans is, will the outcome be different? I think that remains to be seen. Look, I think the Mavs are better equipped to beat Boston than they were last year. Are they going to do that? I don't know. Last year, they got beaten 5 games and in both regular season games pretty handily, man. So the Mavs have a lot of work to do. The Celtics are obviously the hunted because they had the best record in the NBA from start to finish. They ran through the postseason. I think they went 16-3 or something like that in the postseason, which is absolutely remarkable. So the Mavs have a lot of work to do in order to catch this Boston Celtics team, and I really think they could do it, but there's a tough hill to climb, although I think Luka is the best player in the league. I think there's no way that Kyrie Irving would play as bad as he did in the 2024 NBA Finals again. The Mavs add Klay Thompson, which should help them significantly, and I think this Mavs team's ready to do it, man. So will the outcome be different? I think that remains to be seen. but it's something that you have to ask yourself if you think this is going to be one of the best rivalries in the NBA. I love doing this kind of episode. Let me know if you guys want more of this kind of content here on Mavericks Today. We'll be sure to get that to you. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. Once again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up icon. It's a free and easy way to help out the channel. And we'll see you guys soon here on Mavericks Today.